Hi-yo!
Hello and welcome to an episode of Unscripted Gaming. My name is Mike.
And it happened.
Oh my god!
Congratulations!
And I'm joined by Josh and Ray, who just completely missed the lob there.
You're the one who started that. You're the one who started the whole.
I set it right up for you guys. You just let that. You just let
we
that
don't know which
hang
one
out,
goes
hang
first.
there.
You think this is a fucking professional
Oh
operation?
my god!
Let it hang out there, just drowning. It was just
You were the
wash
one
at
who
sea,
started the
gone
whole
forever.
I say all the
Gone.
intros thing. God, I'm Josh, by the way. Damn it!
I'm Ray.
What up?
We have fucked up the opening again.
I'm the captain of this forlorn ship, but, you know, the show must go on, so we're here to talk about some stuff. And
Pre-E3?
some pre-E3 news, because we might be doing a back-to-back here, and we're going to talk about some, I guess maybe some games we've been playing lately, some other kind of recent...
Nah. Let's keep this pure. This is the Pre-3 pod. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah. Fuck video games that are already out. We're talking about shit that's coming up, baby.
Wait,
Yeah,
now I'm
yeah.
confused. Okay, we're doing the E3 pod right now?
Yeah, this is the E3 pod.
Okay, this is the E3 pod. Okay.
No, this is the Pre-3 pod.
Yeah, the Pre-3 pod. Mike's scratching out all his notes. He's got the wrong papers in front of him. He's very confused right
This is
now.
so confusing.
A
Okay.
whole notebook.
I
just
guess I
waiting
meant
to
I thought.
share.
Yeah, never mind. All right. Well, where do you
Hey,
want to start?
you fucked up the intro, Mike. You.
Now,
Words hurt.
Josh, I gotta ask you a favor.
Oh, absolutely.
Shut up a minute. Okay.
You've got 1 minute.
Let's start for the 2017 Pre-3 pod. We want to start off with like the news that everyone has known for well over 6 months that we can go ahead and talk about immediately. This is one of the first E3s in a long time that is now open to the public, where they are actively I think it's actually the first one ever that's open to the public, in that they are actively selling tickets to any Jane or John that wants to spend 250 bones to show up to an E3. Now, before you could go ahead and get into an E3 if you were just like, I run a website and we talk about video games. And what the fuck are you two doing?
No, continue, Ray, please.
Okay, I know no one can see this because we're not a video pod, but these motherfuckers are just doing something in the actual video chat. I don't know what it is. I thought I saw.
All right,
Big
minutes
Nation
up.
in there.
15,000. It sounds like it will
It
be
is
admitted for the
15,000.
public.
Those tickets sold out in minutes.
I guess it sounds like there's going to be more panel kind of presence than there was at like previous E3s. Like they didn't really have panels or speakers previously. There are going to be plenty of long lines for people to wait in.
Well, and here's the thing: is the lines are going to be longer than they've ever been. In the fact that it sounds like a lot of the companies who are still attending E3, the number of which is diminishing year after year, but like everybody's having smaller booths. It sounds like they're shrinking the amount of stuff that they're bringing or the size that they're taking on the show floor.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're adding all of these non-industry people, like more people and less booths means even longer lines.
Yeah, from what I've like gathered about what is going to be there for the public, I'm honestly not dying to, I don't know. I mean, it'd be cool to be there, but like, I don't know. I don't want to wait around for 2 hours to play something that's going to be out in like a month. I don't know.
Dude, if you guys want to like get on like go to like a press thing, and you want to like play a game in advance, and you also want the experience of waiting in long as fuck lines, just go to PAX. PAX really is a consumer event. It's like the E3 for consumers, and that's where most companies go because there are like 4 of them, or I think 5 of them now. And the weird thing about E3, like opening the doors to the public, it's obviously a play to like fill the show floors, because apparently last year it was just quote unquote empty, like lacking in people, lacking in space, and the amount of money that the Electronic Software Association charges for floor space at any Los Angeles Convention Center that E3 is held at. I forget the exact figures, but I remember in like 2015, it's something like $2 million for like several couple hundred feet of floor space for 4 days, and that's a lot. Especially when
it's a lot. It's a lot when you can run a like Twitch stream from your base and generate just as much hype for like a tenth of the cost.
Yeah.
Can we say that maybe Nintendo might have been on the money when they started?
When they just said like, well, yeah. Well, and then they also just said, hey, we're going to have nothing but Switches and Zelda, and we're going to have a shit ton of them, and that's all we're doing. Come hang out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, some anecdotal evidence of E3 shrinkage. The Giant Bomb crew last year recorded an entire podcast from the show floor. They found an open space that somebody used to have a booth at, didn't this year, and like they sat in the middle of the E3 show floor and recorded a podcast, and like it wasn't that noisy in the background. So
there were years where that would probably not be possible.
So. No,
right. I mean, consider who's not there. EA isn't there. They're like, fuck it, it's cheaper for us to do our own thing away from you guys.
It is kind of. I do think it's kind of funny that even though they're not there, they're still like having a LA show. It's like on Saturday before.
I'm gonna have my own more exclusive party, and you're not invited.
They're technically not there, but they're still very much in participating in that news cycle and just trying to get ahead of it. So it's like, oh no, we're not there. We're totally there. Like it's kind of interesting.
Is that weird or is it kind of smart? Because I'm pretty sure what they're doing smart. Is cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's smart. I just think it's funny because it's like, oh yeah, we're not part of E3, but we're right next to E3.
I just really hope E3 has more Wiz Khalifa this year. Like, my God, that was some good stuff last year.
I'm ready for some. I hope.
And one of the most uncomfortable on-camera MCs I've ever seen in my life, trying to interview all these celebrities who are just talking about going and playing a video game and getting high in front of everybody. Like
talking about Snoop Dogg?
Snoop, Jamie Foxx, the one Zac Efron, man, all of them. They were all just
it was a great time.
Very openly talking about weed. It was great.
What are some other? I mean, I'm always down for a Mr. Caffeine Redux.
No, please.
Please bring it back. I wish he would do. I wish Mr. Caffeine would do every single video game press conference for every company.
Stop.
For
Just
all
stop.
time.
I think everybody needs to have a giant enemy crab.
It's Ridge Racer.
With a glowing weak point.
You got to hit it for massive damage.
Ridge Racer. It's Ridge Racer.
$599.
But I'm kind of. It's always good for dumb crap like that. Tom Clancy's Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer.
Pele. Just Pele in front of the microphone for like half an hour. Like, let him get off the stage.
So I have to ask, when is PlayerUnknown's press conference? Are they on Monday or Tuesday? He's just going to come down. He's going to descend with ropes in his fucking trench coat.
I think
and then he's just going to say, by the way, the game started, and throw guns out to the crowd.
We'll be in early access for the next 10 years. Thank you. Like he'll leave, evacuate Mary Poppins style.
In the actual podcast, I do want to talk some PlayerUnknown, but let's get back
Plunk
on topic.
bat.
EA is going to be the first up. Everyone's thoughts on EA.
Electronic Arts.
Yeah. All right, so here's a couple EA games.
Yeah,
coming
I don't even know if I know what
EA.
EA is announcing or talking about this year.
There's a new Need for Speed.
Okay.
All right. There's a new Battlefront.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The finished product.
You mean Battlefield 2 the second?
Stop. Oh, Battlefield 1 is getting a expansion, and that's cool. I like Battlefield 1. All right.
But there. I mean, why would you put an expansion out if you're gonna put up a follow? I mean, yeah, support. Okay, you know what? Okay, I'm just
someone poke me with a stick when they make Battlefield 3 too.
Oh, stop.
Battlefield 2.
No, the Battlefield 3 2.
Battlefield 2142 needs a Battlefield 2143.
I think.
Just
21,
EA, I know you're
Battlefield
listening.
2142 2. Stop overcomplicating it. No one gives a shit about 2143. That makes no sense. You're ridiculous. That's a ludicrous idea.
I apologize.
Get it together, Ray.
There's going to be sports games at the EA showing.
Yeah.
Anyone? Sports.
Wait,
I don't
wait.
care about the sports
You mean
games.
they're making another Madden? That's weird.
I mean-
They don't normally do that every year.
Since 1999, I swear.
I have no
96, I think, actually.
It's been a long ass time.
I got nothing to say for EA besides like
Yeah,
Battlefront 2 looks interesting.
I am kind of interested in Battlefield 2 because
Battlefront.
wait, Battlefront. Shit, sorry. Because I really like.
Get your confusing titles correct.
See, yeah, because Battlefront, Star Wars, Battlefront. I almost said Battlefront 1, but I was like, wait, but they're both Star Wars Battlefront. The Battlefront I played on PS4, I thought like technically was very impressive. Like it was just like the sound was really good. It was a very pretty game, but there just wasn't a lot there. Like I played the demo for like an hour, and I'm like, I kind of think I've seen all I really need to see here. So I think the core production of it and like kind of like the core, just the other kind of the roots of it are really, there's some really good stuff there. So if they kind of fully if they give it a lot of good features, I think it'll be, kind of interesting, because it's like if they just make the same jump from like Battlefront 1 to what happened in Battlefront 2, like with the campaign and other kind of stuff they did, I think that would go a long way. So if they basically just do that for this generation of Battlefront, I think that's pretty much all they really need to do there, and that would be pretty cool. So, but that's pretty much all I've got for EA. Is there any other kind of things you want to mention? I don't know. We don't really have even a lot to speculate on either. So
They really should just pull a fast one and re-release the original Battlefield 2 instead of the one that they're doing now, and then I'd be happy.
Wait a minute.
You're like, this game seems better than it should be.
Stop
Cool.
it.
No, but then you're like, well, it's 60 frames. It's 60 frames locked on PS4. What do you want? And everyone's like, oh, well, yeah, I guess it is.
That's all that matters. It sounds like Star Wars.
Sounds like Star.
The perfect crime.
So since we've got nothing to say about Battlefront 2 besides it looks okay, and by the way, pre-orders are available.
Oh, of course they are.
You haven't seen 1 second of gameplay footage, but pre-orders at front and at the ready. Don't you fucking... I'm going to call out every fucking game
I love
that
the
does
fact
that
that,
from now on.
pretty much any game, they're like, hey, by the way, this is a game... Like, they'll put up a fucking just title on the E3 presser. No gameplay, no even concept footage or concept art. Just a title and it'd say pre-orders available. It'd be like, fuck this world we live in. But that's another topic for another time.
That's
That's exactly what happened with the Destiny 2, quote-unquote teaser reveal. It was not a second of any gameplay footage. It was, crap, he's from Firefly. I can't think of him now. Cade 6, yeah.
Nathan, it was just Nathan Fillion being hammering up and
Kate Sith.
Yeah, it's Nathan Fillion
Kate
talking
Sith, guys.
into a microphone for 2 minutes, and then they say pre-order the deluxe package for $100. Man, fuck you! What the... Why? What have you given me? And you know what the sad thing is?
exotic items.
Will do it. People will do it. Yeah.
Exotic items that will be
Because
not as good as something you have in 20 hours.
Stupid.
You don't even know what those exotic items are. You just know that you will get them. That's it. That's frustrated me and makes me weird about the game industry in some ways. Anyways, that aside, let's go to who's next on the docket.
And it looks like it's a big one or it's one that I expect there to be a lot of news about. It is Microsoft.
Microsoft. Okay,
Microsoft.
So,
And
Microsoft, Project Scorpio. Mike, your thoughts? Go.
I am really curious to see. I think we're gonna get like the whole hardware spec. We're probably gonna see what it looks like. We'll probably see it running a game that's like, well, here's what this game looks like on an Xbox One S. It looks great, and then, well, bam, here it is on Scorpio or whatever the name will be, Xbox One 2.
I think they're pretty married to the name Project Scorpio, and I will be surprised if it gets changed.
I think they're gonna just call it the Xbox.
He's right.
The time is right. Just like get rid of all that stuff. This is the Xbox platform. There are two different SKUs, the Xbox and the Xbox Slim or whatever, and then they just refresh it every couple years.
Yeah, because Apple kind of got people used to that that whole notion. So,
well, no, there's a difference between iPhone 6, 6S, and iPhone 7. I mean, Apple is not that dumb about it. Unless
and that's why they're gonna.
MacBook.
That's gonna be the problem. Is they'll have to make sure that people understand that the $500 Xbox is different from the $350 Xbox. I don't think that'll be too hard, but that's just something people will have to be aware of.
I don't think they care. They're just gonna put an Xbox out, two different versions, the smaller one and then the big honking one. We'll see what happens.
I think we'll see that thing. I think they'll show some pretty stuff. It'll make it look good. It'll make. I think their mission is to make the Pro kind of look a little like in comparison, because
they want to look like the Pro didn't go far enough as far as a mid-cycle revision goes. They want to make it look like they cheated you out of this. Like, look what really you can do.
Like, that's gonna be what I hate to. This sounds like so like idiot, like a really dumb thing to say, but to really like win the cycle, if Microsoft, if they show that this thing is like a real substantial upgrade. I mean, not that the Pro isn't a substantial upgrade, but it's like you have to have a 4K TV to really get the most use out of it. Otherwise, you're just kind of wasting your money 50% of the time. So to really give people, who might not have a 4K TV yet, but just to show that it's a significant jump.
But see, that's the thing is there's not really much they can do in that regard without still somebody having a 4K TV. Like, there's only so much they can improve on a standard 1080p TV with that kind of hardware. Like,
or even like giving people different more options, because Neo, that PS4 game that came out earlier this year, has like a graphics mode where it's like 30 frames a second, but the graphics are a little it's visually a little bit more it looks a little sharper, and has some kind of different things turned on and off. But then there's like an action mode where it's 60 frames locked, kind of simplifies the graphics a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if they if by having the console really substantial power, that they let people make those kinds of decisions in across a lot of games. That's where I think that there is That's where I think there is room to improve on that. I can't remember if this has already been confirmed or not, but I wonder, kind of tangentially, I wonder if this will be I don't think the Scorpio will run Destiny 2 at 60 frames a second, but that would be, if it did, that would be. I wonder. Do I know this? Let me see if I know this already. Give me just a second.
I thought Destiny 2 was already. If I'm not mistaken, doesn't Destiny 1 run at 60 frames a second?
No,
I thought it did.
It is 30 on. It is 30 on console. It will be Destiny 2 will be unlocked frames on PC.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Which that means console play and console play and PC play, unless they're both locked at 60, that they're not going to integrate. That just wouldn't be fair if you're playing like the Crucible mode.
I mean,
If I have the option to, like what Mike was just saying before, if I was playing a game that said, do you want the game to look slightly better at 30 frames per second, or do you want it to move faster at 60 frames per second? That's not a question. 60 frames per second. All day, every day. Like, if you give me the chance to play Bloodborne, which is a great-looking game, and I already beat Bloodborne at 30 frames per second, but if you say, like, it takes a slight graphics hit, but it's running at 60 frames per second, it's going to take that hit. I'm playing some goddamn Bloodborne at 60 frames per second.
There was a time in my life where I would have been like, no, I want it to look better. Since I built a computer and I've been playing everything at 60 FPS or higher,
you can't go back.
It's fucking frame rate, man. Frame rate all day. But see, a lot of that stuff, and here's also the problem with the PlayStation Pro, is that stuff is not just on Sony, it's on the developer. Because you can do those things, it's whether or not the developers that are doing that are supporting it. Now, we may see some improvement in that area now that we have two consoles that both have a standard and a higher end version. So that may help that kind of thing happen, and to help.
It may make it give them time.
Give them more reason.
Make it worth it to do it, because now it's like, oh great, so we could make this. We could target this PS4 Pro, but why should we? Only like barely 1 million people have this compared to like the 50 million people who already have a regular.
And I've seen some people online kind of lament like, oh well, these games have PC ports, why can't they just import that kind of granular control over to the console version? And the way that the console systems work, being much more tightly controlled environments, with integrated graphics on the chip and whatnot, it's a lot more difficult to give people that level of control, especially because you don't have that kind of variance that you do in computer systems. So it leaves opportunity for things to go wonky or people to break their games unnecessarily. So it makes sense for the console version to be controlled. But I'm interested to see what will happen in the next year or two, because I really don't think we'll see developers really getting on board besides Microsoft it's proper for another year or two.
Can I talk about getting into the... I know we just spent like 15 minutes on Scorpio or whatever. I was looking over the list of games Microsoft might potentially announce at E3, because it's always going to come down to, you gave me a sexy-ass console. Now what? The only Xbox One game I want to play is like Halo 5, just cause. Cuphead, which got pushed back again. Take your time with it, guys. That game looks great. Take your time with it. Yeah. And Crackdown 3, maybe? That's it. That's it. There's no other like exclusives for Xbox One that make me want to say, I'll spend $700 on this console. Does anyone care about that? Does that make a difference? I don't know.
Well, I do think it's kind of a bad play to be releasing a new console without a really solid first-party title to just say, like, this is the thing you need to get the Scorpio for. I don't think Crackdown really has... I mean, people like Crackdown, but I don't think it has, like... It's not... It's not Halo.
I don't think people really
it's not
like
even
Crackdown 2.
Forza. Which I think there might be a new Forza coming. I can't remember.
That's a safe assumption.
But like,
there's always a Forza game.
True, but like, there's not really software to go with the Scorpio as far as we know so far to be like, no guys, this is why you've got to get it.
Like,
that's my big problem with the Xbox One.
Like,
that's why I don't have one.
Like, there's no Horizon Zero Xbox, which is kind of because not that it was the poster child for the Pro, but it was one of the first games that did receive a lot of support for the Pro and like optimization for it. And I heard people who were playing it on the Pro were like, "Wow, okay, this really when they designed for this thing, Like they really nailed it. So it's so it will be interesting to see like how do they what kind of because obviously if a fancy box is only gonna look as good as the stuff you get running on it. So that'll be interesting to see. Is like because I'm sure like the Scorpio itself will be pretty great. I think the hardware stuff. I think they've ever since the launch of with how they turn things around. I think that they know what they need to do on the hardware side pretty easily to like win people over, and really make a splash. But it'll be interesting. Yeah, software-wise, it'll be really interesting to see what they announce. I think that's kind of all I've got for Microsoft.
Let's move on to the love child of the video game industry that has born this giant it's now a monolithic company, honestly. Bethesda. I'm gonna switch it around. Josh, Bethesda, your thoughts? Fire.
I don't really know what they're gonna talk about this year.
Elder Scrolls Online.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I know.
Did somebody say more Elder Scrolls Online?
No.
Like I don't think they. I don't think.
We heard you guys wanted more Elder Scrolls Online. No one said that.
Now with microtransactions. More of them.
Yeah, well, you say microtransactions, but it's true. I don't think that they're going to release a new Elder Scrolls proper game right now because that will just eat into the Elder Scrolls Online's launch. I think they want to give that a little more time before they release something else, especially because I think they've got about 10 more years of re-releasing Skyrim. So
Fallout Online.
Skyrim for Switch. That's what they're gonna talk about.
Fallout's too new. They're not gonna announce anything for Fallout. Maybe Fallout Shelter 2. Maybe that's gonna be their big.
Yeah, there we go. That's the good stuff. Hey guys,
Shelter just got a Steam
I don't know why we're
release
just turning into clowning on Bethesda. Hey guys, we're really happy to announce Skyrim for the Nintendo Switch. Can I download weird dating mods? No, you can't.
Boo! You can't download any mods on the Switch version. Last news I heard about.
Yeah. Somebody's gonna. I guarantee you, somebody's gonna find a way to crack a Switch to put mods on an SD card, put it in the slot, and then get those things running. I guarantee you.
No,
it might take a while, but somebody's gonna do it.
Joy-Con, and then you slide it on. You slide the Joy-Con on, and that's
if you only do a quarter quarter slide on the Joy-Con, if it's not fully in, there's a way you can
pick up the phone receiver on the Switch and get the whistle from the Captain Crunch box and whistling these.
You actually have to. You actually have to
White House.
You have to put 3 extra antennas in this. I almost called it the Wiimote in the Joy-Con. Then you have to
unscripted gaming where we shit on Bethesda for 15 minutes.
Well, here's the thing. I
have a beef with Bethesda.
I like Bethesda, but here was the problem that I was worried about.
Doom 2016. Everyone, shut up a minute. If they do something amazing with the new Doom game, I'm in. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I want to throw this out there real quick. Skyrim came out in 2011. I want to get that out there.
I told you, 10 more years. 10 more years of Skyrim.
You see, the communist revolution actually didn't die with the fall of the Soviet Union. It just moved into Bethesda. They're just working on 10-year plans, but for games.
It's just this is what I was worried about when Bethesda announced that they were going to have a presser slot. Is that some years, they've got a lot that'll fill up a press conference, but this year I don't know what they can do with the whole press conference. The only thing I can think about is maybe a new Wolfenstein, but I think it's been long enough that they could announce something there. But again,
wait, Quake.
Quake Live or whatever. Yeah, Quake Champions. That's it. That'll take up a decent amount of time, especially as we get closer to that game actually launching. But still,
let's see.
Oh wait! I just found something online. Just did a quick online crawl. Apparently, there are rumors of a new Wolfenstein game.
I am the smartest man on the planet. I said that. I said maybe a new Wolfenstein. What did you just say?
Okay, you know what? You're right. I did hear that. Okay, it's supposedly called New Colossus.
Ooh.
All right, you know what? That could be cool. That could be interesting.
Is BJ Blazkowicz not dead?
Stop.
But yeah, it's
I
pretty
just-
much.
I just want more BJ Blazkowicz because that's a fucking great name.
I wonder if they're gonna do.
BJ
'cause
Blazkowicz.
Prey just came out. Dishonored 2 came out last fall. Yeah, it's pretty much just. I think it's probably too soon to hear anything about. Maybe is there any like Fallout 4 DLC coming? I mean, not has that already happened?
I think most of the main DLCs have come out.
Yeah, so I don't really know. I don't think they're going to be doing any like Dishonored DLC. I know they did for Dishonored 1, but I guess that's something I could read there, too.
I'm sure they will use their time. It's just really hard to see 100% what they're going to do, and it just seems like everybody else, they kind of have a problem where like we're kind of spoiled this year because a lot of really good shit has come out, so we're kind of like at E3 like, man, what else you
cares?
got? We've already kind of like we're still working on that shit from earlier this year.
I got it. I got it. Skyrim Shelter.
I would play that.
Pack it up, boys. This man's got it.
I would download that and give
The
it a
Elder
shot.
Scrolls
Why not? I download and give
the
a shot all
no,
Nintendo's
wait,
other
it's just-
shitty games.
the title card is just The Elder Scrolls 6 Shelter.
I would actually kind of hate them if they called Skyrim Shelter.
It just has the like
Elder Scrolls
badass
6.
trailer with like the voiceover and the da da da. And just The Elder
With a
Scrolls
full orchestra.
6.
Shelter.
Real game never
Go
coming
Keen.
out.
God.
Well,
What's
being
next?
that we've got nothing to go on for Wolfenstein or
Pre-order this iPhone game now.
Or, I don't know. Are you
Hey,
guys into
hey,
Quake?
I
I've
can
never
I
actually-
can tell you something about Wolfenstein. You'll kill some Nazis.
It's the true World
Violence
War II
isn't the
game.
answer, okay, Josh?
It's the true World War II game. To
When
Activision
you
take
fight
over.
the Nazis win. You know.
I would play that game, just because it's weird and.
We
hasn't
see
been
now.
done in
We
the
see now
games.
it's 2017, so BJ Blazkowicz has to go through and has to do all of like Wolfenstein again, but it's like a no-kill run because, you know.
I'm not getting into
He has to
that.
take sensitivity training.
We're not doing it. We're moving on to Ubisoft.
You have to
Ubisoft
res-
is gonna have
they
a
BJ
have a right
Blazkowicz
to-
is a pacifist now.
They have a right to unload their hatred and nationalism everywhere. Okay, it's
Oh
Yeah.
God! I said we're moving on. We're moving.
moving on.
You better move.
E3
You better force it
E3.
because Mike and I could keep going.
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft.
Mike, what are you thinking about Far Cry 5?
5.
No. Mike has the floor. Go for it.
I am really. I think this is. I'm really excited for Far Cry 5. I mean, it's coming out.
Okay.
It's coming out this February.
As am I.
So 2018 February.
No, it's not.
I've been playing Far Cry 5, Far Cry Shelter. You know you want. Wait, what the fuck? They're not even Bethesda. Everything is Bethesda now.
Everything's
My
Bethesda now.
God.
Dude,
Halo
I
Shelter.
just
Super
cannot
Smash
wait
Bros.
to climb
Shelter.
cell phone towers to unlock more map.
I hope that's not in
Sure.
Far Cry 5. I'm not asking a lot for this game. It's already having a great concept. But please no goddamn radio towers have to climb up to unlock more of the map.
Yeah.
Actually,
I-
you know what? You know what? Because there are no cell phone towers in Montana. It's actually Firewatch towers, and plot twist: Firewatch was actually a Far Cry 5 prequel.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna cut Josh
This
off
guy
from
fucks.
talking.
Oh my god.
He hates me apparently.
Yeah, because I've been playing. Like the first Far Cry I played was Far
It's
Cry
a
2.
tie-in.
And I think I really liked Far Cry 4. I didn't mess around with Primal, but definitely towards the end of 4, you're like with 3 Blood Dragon and 4, they really kind of settled into a pattern, and something really needed to change. So, I really hope that they revamp a lot of the gameplay and kind of make it a lot less tedious in some of those ways. But I am really excited to see what they do with the setting. I think it's a really great premise that I think is really interesting and could is quite topical, or can be. I really hope they stick the landing because it's a great idea, but great ideas require really great execution. So I really hope. I really hope
a lot
they don't
of
hedge. Like, please don't hedge on this story. Like, go all the way. Trust us. Like, just do it. Like, don't hedge at all, Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Please.
There's a lot of ways that they could really tell a very deep story and a very socially conscious story and a real look, like a self-reflection of America, and to a greater extent the world. But there's also ways that they could try and be too cautious and not do the things that they need to do to tell that story.
Yeah, I feel like I can see a cop out on this game very easily, and it makes me very sad because I know it's very likely because you have to make safe decisions when you're working with a multi-billion-dollar, video game industry. So I don't want them to do it, but oh god, if I love that. I mean, that's what I really like about Far Cry 5. Is the antagonists are interesting in the previous Far Cry games, but I feel like the narrative, the full-on, not just the single character, but the potential narrative of Far Cry 5 is something that I've never really bought a Far Cry since 2. The overarching narrative of a Far Cry game isn't something that's been particularly interesting, and I think that there's a lot of potential for that to be here. So I don't know how much more we'll find out about it at Ubisoft's conference, but I would
really recommend people go to
see.
Waypoint and read the piece that they wrote about Far Cry 5 being about living in fear in America and kind of the stuff that they talk about where there's a lot of opportunity for talking about fear, talking about class, talking about gender, talking about race, and they could make this game very special and delve into some of that stuff, or they could just make it generic and like any other Far Cry game and hand wave around that stuff and just make you run through America and kill a bunch of dudes and be like, no, it's still just Far Cry, just in a different way. So
yeah,
I hope they do what they need to do to go all the way with this game and actually tell that story and examine that part of the self, but who knows?
Yeah,
I think we'll probably get a little more information, like you said, at E3, but not a ton.
Real quick, before we get into the next game, which, by the way, is coming up, is going to be Assassin's Creed, I want to talk about this one elephant in the room Ubisoft thing, which they kind of passively addressed last year, but now it's becoming, so real they're kind of not talking that much about it, but they should. Vivendi, the people, the French company with just this hate boner for Ubisoft, which NASA has confirmed is bigger than the rings of Saturn.
Damn.
Pause.
They finally got that big?
No, their hate boner knows no limits. AUs is how you measure their hate boner. Astronomical units. They have 25% stock of Ubisoft, and last year, when we were talking about Pr-E3, they had 17%. So it's predicted that the hostile takeover is coming. Everyone's just assuming, all right, it's happening. They only need 5% more stock, and then according to French laws, they are allowed at that point to make a bid on the entire company and all of its assets. So,
damn.
What Vivendi does with Ubisoft once they own it, everything that we're talking about for this E3 could possibly mean nothing. Would it be crazy that Vivendi buys out the company and says, this shit's getting burned to the ground? That would be insane.
Yeah.
But also, Vivendi's reasoning for wanting to buy Ubisoft is insane. So that's something to keep in mind. just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Well, I bet we'll also get some news on, continued Division updates and stuff, content coming this year, as well as, Rainbow Six Siege stuff. Yeah, maybe. Or, we're going to pack up shop here in a minute.
Well, last year, the CEO of Ubisoft came out and said the company is a big family and we're going to work together. And we've had some troubling times, but we're going to push through it. And it was a very heartwarming speech. And anyone that was in the know knows, yeah, he's talking about the takeover. He's talking about, like, they can't stop that stock from being continuously bought. So I'm going to be honest, he looked worried.
We work as a family. Y'all motherfuckers about to be fired.
That's so fucked. That's so fucked.
Yeah. I am, with Assassin's Creed, I'm really excited to see what a year off has done on that release cycle. Like, because, I mean, they were cranking those things out for a long time. So I'm curious to see, like, what a kind of soft reboot is going to do for...
I'm so hopeful. I'm so hopeful that this does two things. One, that they have a much better product, one that is both free of bugs and just a more fresh take on Assassin's Creed, better story, you know, doing something different with the gameplay. And two, that the sales numbers jump a significant amount, because I would really like this to be something excuse me, I'm just, choking to death over here. This to be something that signals other companies that it is okay to not have an annual release, that people won't forget about your title, that you can take a little more time to work on it, and that they will be rewarded for that. Now, granted, if they make a shit product anyway, then, whatever. But there's a part of me that hopes, regardless of what this new Assassin's Creed's about, that it just shows that it is okay for game developers to take more time with those franchises, that we can have a year off from something and it's okay.
Bingo.
So I don't think Ubisoft is, to the point you were making, you hope it's not a shit game. I don't think for years now that company has been in a position to have, the ability to just make a shit game for no reason. Like, that only justifies a Vivendi takeover even more. It strengthens its resolve. So I'm with you and Mike. I fell off of Assassin's Creed at Assassin's Creed 3.
Same here.
What's his name? Yeah, the Native American one. Yeah, that's where I'm like, I'm done. I think I'm done here. I haven't played one since. I hear Black Flag's good. I hear good things about that game. I just stopped caring. So here's hoping that game is good. Mm-hmm. You guys want to talk about The Crew 2, or we want to move on?
2 Crew for you.
I can't wait to drive around in a car up a cell phone tower to expand the map.
Far Crew
You
5.
drive the car up the cell phone tower. Real talk, in The Crew, you did drive a car to a cell phone tower to unlock more of the map.
Oh, yeah, I
And
know.
it's like, restrain yourself, Ubisoft.
See, we're just waiting for the ultimate Ubisoft crossover game.
Do you know people still play The Crew? Like,
Watch.
I saw some recently. Like, there's a pretty decent amount of people who are still playing The Crew. Like,
Assassin's Watch Crew.
It's 5 people, but it's a big, it's a thriving community. They play every day.
It's like how we were the only people. It's like we were the only people
just
playing
one
Suicide
crew.
Survival for like 2 years.
They literally are The Crew.
Oh shit!
Wow.
They're the family, man. We're family.
We established that cringiness. Actually, The Crew seems like in a world where Fast and the Furious still makes billions of dollars in the box office for reasons I'll never understand. There's probably a market for The Crew too. There probably is.
I think you're probably right.
Let's get to what's typically my favorite press conferences to watch, Sony. And where's that Final Fantasy VII remake?
I think everyone is going to... I have a wardrobe prediction.
Okay.
So Sony's becoming... I think it's been more like... Has gotten more vogue with their press conferences. Like last year they had a live orchestra. I think everyone in this year is just going to be dressed in sleek black bodysuits, using the material left over from touchpads, and just be covered and be like, yes, I am ready for play. My body is the new controller, PS5, in stores $20.99.
This is not the year for PS5.
Here
This
is a
not the
trailer
year.
for Death Stranding.
So I
I
don't think we're
will
going to hear
watch that
about
trailer.
Final Fantasy VII at this E3.
What you got for me?
So I don't know if you heard this, but they recently announced that Square announced that the Final Fantasy VII remake was coming in house. Originally, it had been outsourced to CyberConnect,
Yeah.
and now that they were like, we're gonna get a little more involved. And I have a feeling that means that thing is a dumpster fire and that it needs a lot of work and that they are going to be scrambling to try and hit previously set dates. And I bet you they don't have much more to show at E3. Like, they're like, no, we gotta fucking work on this. I also think that
So it sounds like Final Fantasy 15 syndrome all over again.
I also bet that this is probably why other things that Square has recently announced have happened, because of the fact that this is probably costing them a lot of money, and they're like, where can we find some quick cash? Things are not going well.
Yes. Yes. So you might be right. I want to go ahead and show you guys something that's kind of cool, and I'll put it in the show notes. So Sony is doing something very unique for their press conference, and it really is showing just how unneeded E3 is. You can go watch the Sony E3 Experience 2017 at a movie theater near you. The entire press briefing. You don't want to watch a stream from a computer? Bam! There's a link right here on the screen. You can go to a theater near you and just go watch the whole thing. Here, I'm going to show you guys in the link right here. Boop.
I think they've done something like that before.
I've
Yeah,
not
they
seen
have.
anything like that before. Have they?
Yeah, like
Maybe I didn't see it.
like a Fathom event where they put stuff on movie theaters around places. That's happened before, and I think even with E3 pressers. So
Cool. I think that's interesting, and again, proving that how, in a certain light, how E3 is just taking this kind of shift away from like pressers to consumer events, because this is open to anyone that wants to buy a ticket. You don't have to be a presser. That's all I got. I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if let's see. I think that there's some like zombie game that they're gonna show, like Days End, I think is what it's called. They're gonna show more off of that. I wonder if we'll see. I think it's still pretty early. I wonder if we'll find out if Death Stranding is actually a video game or if it's just a series of esoteric weird trailers from Hideo Kojima, which I'm
I'd be
honestly
pissed.
100% okay with it being. Like, if
I'd
I
be
never
pissed.
play that game and I just see a bunch of weird, cool trailers, I'll be like, okay, this is fine. Just do this forever, please. Thank you.
So here's my prediction. The final quote unquote launch trailer. Hear me out. So we pan.
Okay.
All a bunch of crazy shit happens. We've got to get to space. Okay. So we're on the launch pad. Rocket starts taking off from the launch pad, and then stage 1 comes off. Poof. Stage 2 comes off. Poof. Okay, we've got to launch the satellite. Bays open up. And all of a sudden, you just see this fucking big middle finger with the words Konami on it, and like a circle and a cross through it, and it's just flying through space. And then it gets into orbit around the Earth, and then it shoots a laser beam down out of the tip of the middle finger back to Earth into Konami HQ at their Plinko factory and blows it up.
This is extreme.
And that's it.
The Price is Right is canceled forever because all the Plinko machines are gone. They're all dead.
And
Also,
by
the
Plinko,
Pachinko
I
factory got
mean
hit too.
Pachinko.
Mike, I want to talk to you about a Sony game coming out that I know is very important. All right, they're probably going to show it at E3.
I think I like that plan a lot,
2.
Josh.
Knack 2.
I'm telling you, I have a source on the inside.
And then at the end of that, it'll be Death Stranding. Shelter.
Finn.
Guys, we're ignoring the Knack 2.
Coming to iPhone soon. I do not want to play Knack
iPhone
2.
and T-Mobile sidekick.
How about God of War?
LG
Anyone want to
chocolate.
play the new God of War?
The new God of War.
I was interested in God of War when I saw that stuff from last year. the whole like Kratos is a dad and like has to be less of a dick, but he's still a dick kind of thing. Like, I was picking up that vibe. Granted, the only God of War I've ever played is like a demo disc for God of War 1 years and years ago. But hey, you never know.
When are we? I know we're supposed to be talking about like E3 and making E3 predictions. I am pretty curious to see. I never really played any of the old God of Wars.
Yeah.
And I think, but this new one, the old stuff they showed looked pretty good. When are we gonna get to Scientology God of War?
Where he fights like Xenu? I'm in.
Are we sure that's not Bloodborne 2?
You know what? I initially was like, ugh, Mike, and then I thought,
oh,
no, okay, I'm in.
Why the fuck not?
See, I say things.
Since we've covered all the
They don't think it be like it is.
We could talk about what's probably going to take up a
But
lot
it
of
do.
space. For the major consoles and PC, Destiny 2, what's going to be there? What are you guys thinking? Is Activision going to shit the bed, or are they going to bring it hard? E3, or they're not going to be at E3 at all? Who knows?
I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see too much more new stuff about Destiny 2, because they did kind of show off a lot of like they let people do like a mission in Destiny 2 or like a raid, or not a raid, a strike. They showed off like some story stuff. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they just maybe they'll do like in the Sony conference they'll do like a strike and then like some stuff we haven't seen before, but is nothing too crazy from what we already know. And then they'll say, by the way, Destiny is the place to play, or the PS4 is the place to play Destiny 2 because you get this exclusive dumb thing. Probably.
I mean, you did get some pretty. Let's be honest. The last go round with Destiny 1, you got some pretty badass legendaries if you got the PS4 version. I mean, you could debate that. I guess not you, Mike, but I guess someone could debate that.
I thought they were pretty shit.
Fight. You never played it.
Joshua.
You're just stirring the pot, Josh.
When you tell him he's stirring the pot, then it works. Oh my!
It just encourages me to do it more.
Yeah. I guess one
hot take. I don't think Destiny 2 is going to be very good.
What? Okay, fine. We're not having this.
You know what? Even
this
I,
is an E3 preview
Destiny
pod, not
1
a
for
Josh
lot
is a
of
loser
reasons.
pod. Okay.
I have my critique, and very strong bad critique of Destiny 1. Even I will say Destiny 2 looks like it's going to be a good game.
That sounds like something a Hunter main would say.
I was a Titan main.
Yeah, good. I knew that.
All about punching people and popping that bubble. Ooh,
I was a
Titans
Warface
can now throw down
main.
That small little low wall shield. That's kind of cool.
That is
Mike
cool.
just shrugs.
Warlock is the way to go. Easy.
Doesn't the Warlock have the heal now?
I like the knee slide followed by the wall run, and then when you shoot the grappling hook at the guy, and then you get the harpoon gun. For a pre-order bonus, and you don't get it until level 30, and then you shoot at the guy.
Screw you, Mike, because that's what it sounds like. I don't appreciate that.
No, not at all.
All right. Seriously, serious talk. Moving on. Sony, we don't know. Whatever.
Wait,
let's get into the one that's actually going to matter.
Guys, I can't wait to hear about Kingdom Hearts 3 this year.
Someday.
That's why I skipped it, because we're not going to hear dick.
Kingdom Hearts 2.9.
And 2.9 and 15 quarters over
Flag Day.
Ranma half battle.
Christmas. Coming soon.
The card game. The card game.
I'm tired of talking about Kingdom Hearts 3.
It's a TCG. It's a trading card game.
Until Square Enix gives a solid release date, not for 2.8, not 2.5, not 2.8, the final mix. Fuck all that.
Final mix, the remix.
For the third one, and then I'll care.
Actually, okay, so they're going to release Kingdom Hearts 3 minus 1.5.
No! Close.
It's not even sorted.
One last thing about that's probably going to be at the Sony conference is going to be, at least I think it'll be there, what the new game that From Software has been working on.
What's this? What?
Well, I mean, the team that made Bloodborne. I mean, they weren't making making Dark Souls 3, and Dark Souls 3 is pretty much, I mean, all the DLC's out and done for that. So, and Dark Souls is kind of retired at this point. So, I'm really curious to see where they go. I mean, Bloodborne was PlayStation exclusive. The team Bloodborne that team's been working on something for a long time. I think either way, I think it's pretty likely that we get a Bloodborne sequel. If that is the case,
Don't tease me like this, Mike.
that would
You're
be
not
that
allowed.
would be pretty rad. I'd be down for that. But honestly, I've been seeing some rumors that are definitely unverified. So this is total
Don't do
rumor.
this.
This is total rumor mill.
Don't do this.
I think Josh had a question. Joshua.
I was just gonna say I would really like them to bring Bloodborne to PC so I cannot play it.
Why did you give him the floor? This is what happens when you give him the floor.
Mike's face right now. I think Mike just quit the podcast.
Just walks away.
I just want everyone to have a chance to just sit here and just think about what Joshua just said. And
I love
and just
Bloodborne.
how
Can I?
for
It's
only
such a good game.
1 cent a day, you can help a Joshua in your neighborhood understand that he's a punk for thinking that Bloodborne is a shitty game.
I'm actually gonna start a Patreon, and for every contribution level, I'm on less episodes of the show. So the more money you give me, the less I'm on here. So start donating now.
Oh, that's a. I thought you were talking about like
So
the
what are your
Bloodborne
unconfirmed
Let's Play you
rumors?
would do. So it's like if you hit like the $100,000 subscriber like Patreon goal, then it's like, all right, I go to the title screen. Man, this is dumb. Next game.
give my honest review of the game. Man, this is shit. It runs like crap.
10 out of 10. So I think we'll either see a Bloodborne sequel, which would be great, but I've heard some spicy rumors about a Dark Souls like game being done by From Software with an. This is gonna sound really dumb when it's just a Bloodborne sequel and not something else, with an Aztec style setting.
Huh? Ooh, what? The more I chew on that one, you just handed me this spicy meme. I mean, this spicy take, and I put it in my mouth, and I'm chewing on it, and I'm like, I don't know how this tastes. This tastes kind of weird.
I don't know how I feel either, but you know, I'm all up for From Software. I mean, they're obviously very good at like a dark fantasy horror kind of setting, so I think it would be really interesting to see them make that game in a really different setting. But you know, if they just want to make Bloodborne 2, that sounds pretty great. So
I keep like every couple months in this podcast, I keep throwing like this handoff layup to From Software and just say Armored Core Dark Souls mix game, and it would just sell billions. And I feel, in my opinion, it would. Sell
I could get behind that.
Yeah, because it would be fucking amazing. Is what it would
Would
be.
you
I'm just
enjoy
ready for
Bloodborne
I'm ready
more?
I'm ready for a new like. We need a giant robot game. We need a Gundam or an Armored Core or a Mech Warrior, something big.
Mech Warrior just got an RTS that just released.
Yeah, I don't want an RTS. I want like fucking real time shit. And
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Nephew.
also, as I say, I don't want an RTS, and I say real time. Like,
Real time shit.
wait a minute.
Josh, would you enjoy Bloodborne more if there was a single card after the title screen that said, by the way, your character is actually a robot controlled by a little person who lives inside him?
Yes,
How much more would you enjoy that game?
a bazillion times more.
Okay. I was just curious.
I'm not kidding when I say like the thought of a Dark Souls like game, except you're in a mech, and it's a fully customizable mech like Armored Core. That sounds.
It kind of makes sense. It
Odds.
kind of makes more sense too, because like if you really think about like giant robots and how lumbery and big and bulky they are, like that kind of like movie one-on-one clunky timing-based fighting would be a lot more like what they're gonna do. You know, having to manage their stamina because they're only going to be able to do so many movements while they try and cool off before bad things happen. Like, oh my god, that would be so amazing.
Like, that's
That's an easy layup. Just
like
slam it
that's
home.
why I if there's a Bloodborne 2, I think that's awesome. But I would love to see them really do something. I mean, because they've do something kind of they've done before, or really branch off.
This one's
Oh,
productive.
no, his hand is up. Dear God.
All I'm saying is, From Software, Ray and I were open to offers. Just hire us. We will make this happen for you.
All I need is just pop up there for like a couple months. Just be like, here's what the new Armored Core game is going to look like. Get the guy from Dark Souls in here. We need to talk. And then like 2 years later, you got this game that's making money hand over fist. And there's movie deals.
And then just give me a couple of those fists of the dollars, and we'll be good to go.
Question 1: how far are you guys on Bloodborne 2? It's shipping next week. Oh, you need to cancel that. No, it won't work.
Scratch it.
It's not gonna fly.
Where's the .exe? Delete it.
Just like the Neil Blomkamp script for Alien 5. You know what? That sounds great. Let's axe that and make Alien Covenant instead. This.
Hey, what a great time to mention that. If you haven't already seen it, that Ray and I uploaded a Creed Got Robbed episode about our thoughts on Alien Covenant.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
Go listen to that. It was good times, and the movie is a movie.
It is a film. You're not wrong. All right.
2 hours and 12 minutes of movie.
E3 preview pod continues. What is next?
We're going into the system that we actually kind of care about right now. Let's be honest. We're going into Nintendo territory. Quick, Mike, tell me how excited you are for ARMS.
I'm not that excited for ARMS.
Finish it.
I don't know. I mean, I think it sounds cool. Just another kind of big title for it. The thing I'm really looking forward to with the Switch is I just hope they just have a massive just parade of on their direct of just like, hey, remember like this awesome indie game is coming here, this awesome indie game. That's what that thing is. So they just need to just dump a truckload of pretty good games, just to like flesh out the library. Give us some updates on like maybe some new Nintendo things that they have in the works.
I hear Skyrim's available.
Skyrim Shelter coming soon to your Switch. Switch Shelter. Super Mario Maker Shelter.
Speaking of Mario, I think Mike has a point. Like, if on my Switch, I have more indie games than I have full retail release games. Because the indie games on Switch, there's a bunch of really good ones. Especially, there's a bunch of really good ones that are like they work really well on that screen and on that format. So yes, more indie games, please.
Yeah, so that's what I think that they. I mean, because the Switch launch, I mean, it's a pretty cool piece of hardware. I mean, obviously the online stuff we haven't really talked about it. We might do that on our supplementary pod. Is a little interesting, but that for me, what I want to see is like, I just want to see just give the hardware's out, hardware's great, just truckloads of games. Just even if it's like indie stuff, some first party stuff down the road. Like I know maybe like people like Nintendo teams who were working on 3DS stuff for a long time. What are those teams doing for the Switch? I wouldn't be surprised if we see like some more Wii U kind of remasters. Like there was a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I would not be surprised if there was like a Smash Bros. Deluxe. Like I think something like that would be a pretty smart. If I worked at Nintendo, I would make a Smash Bros. Deluxe for the Switch. I think that's a pretty good move.
Wait! I have to ask the important question. Can I plug my GameCube controller in it?
You can plug your Vitality sensor in. How does that work? How does that sound? If you get the GameCube connector cable, you can connect the GameCube controller, but it's the only one that works is the one that plugs into the Game Boy Advance.
It's the Game Boy adapter.
Super Smash Bros. Crystal Chronicles coming soon.
Someone has to carry the bucket. Okay, let's talk about Nintendo. Never goes big at E3. They always do like 1 or 2 games max. And this year they're bringing 3. It's ARMS, which is coming out very soon. Splatoon 2, and Super Mario Odyssey. And that's a big one. I'm really interested in what Super Mario Odyssey is going to look like, because if it's anything of a Mario reboot like Super Mario Galaxy did, that's going to be a great. Oh, Mike has his hands up. Mike, hot take.
Question: How on a scale of 1 to infinity, how much will they defecate upon Metroid once again?
Oh no. Reggie Fils-Aimé did make that announcement that this E3 is going to feature a Metroid game.
Oh no.
Oh no, Josh passed out.
Metroid Shelter.
They don't have a new Metroid game in their lineup of games that they reported to IGN or GameSpot.
Guys, don't worry. It's going to be Metroid Prime Blaster Ball 2.
I just want Metroid Dread.
No, it's
whatever
gonna be-
that was. Just make.
It's gonna be Metroid Heroes. It's just gonna be like. It's gonna be Metroid Jump. That's what it is. I found it. I figured it out. I did it. I figured it out. It's Metroid.
It's a match 3 game with colored Metroid.
It's
Shitty
Magikarp Jump
mobile
with
game.
all the same writing. So it's still called a Magikarp, but it's just a Metroid.
Can you imagine?
That's it.
Look,
I'm
I
sorry,
believe-
Josh. I ruined it for you, but
It's
that's
Metroid Shine Spark. It's like Super Mario Run, but she's doing the Shine Spark, but it's really slow, and then you make her jump and collect, I don't know, fucking missile expansions.
Josh, I know you're joking. I know you're telling a stupid ass joke right now. But if they release that as like a companion game with a real Metroid game, that sounds kind of hot.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna hate it if it's a companion game, but you know Nintendo, that's gonna be their fucking marquee. Like that's the thing they're gonna close with. Just be like, oh, and by the way, Metroid fans, we heard you. We got exactly what you want. They're gonna say it like that, completely straight face. They're gonna play it straight, and then just be like, JK motherfuckers.
We added Samus to Mario Kart.
And then Reggie Fils-Aimé is going to come out 6 weeks later and be like, I don't understand why people are so upset. I think this game's amazing.
Do you remember when that motherfucker...
Jimmy Fallon loved it. He wouldn't lie to me.
Did you remember when Reggie Fils-Aimé came out and said, I don't know why people don't like Metroid Other
It still keeps
this game is great.
it still keeps me up at night.
But what if he knew it's a bad game?
He had to know. There's no way he could not have known. Reggie, why?
He's like, what's wrong? This game is great.
No, it'll be
my
Metroid.
wife has to come for me. You know, it's okay. He really didn't know. You know, he was confused. You know, he was blinded by the Team Ninja the pedigree. It's okay.
Why the fuck is Team Ninja making a Metroid game?
It'll be no. See,
That's like
I got
the
it.
question.
It'll be Metroid Other S. The S stands for shelter.
Stop.
That's the last time I'm making this joke. I promise.
I would not play that game. What would that be? You take care of little Metroids in like their hatching chambers?
Yeah,
How
exactly.
would that even work? Okay, so I got
Easy.
nothing else to say about Nintendo beyond Super Mario Odyssey. It looks like a great game.
You know who they're letting help? You know who's making this this new Metroid game? Tencent.
Of course, that's a giant company, though. I don't know that.
You know another company that has really high regard for women and making, you know, a diverse portfolio of games rather than shitty mobile games. Anyway, moving on. I'm making myself sad and dead on the inside.
But real talk. There is supposed to be a Metroid announcement coming in the next couple days.
Mike, is this what it feels
And,
like when I shit on Dark Souls to you? Is this how you
Yeah.
feel?
Well, no, not really, because I like Dark Souls, but I think you probably like Metroid is probably more important to you than like Dark Souls.
Seeing
is
as I've
to
built my
me.
entire brand around Metroid, yeah, I think it's been a little important to me. But yeah, no. I should probably stop shitting on you
I'm
like
taking
that.
bets right
Yeah, you
now.
probably
I'm
should,
taking
shouldn't it?
actual
Because
bets.
I'm not going to. I like dunking on you. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, Ray, you had a serious thing, and I'm
when was
over
the last
here
good
fucking.
Metroid game again?
I was going to say 2010, but that's a lie.
I cry every
when
time.
When did Prime 3 come out? Was that 2006? I think that's it. It's been a minute. Okay. Almost real talk. I don't think they have a new Metroid game 100% made. I think AM2R is getting a full release on Switch. That's what I think it actually is.
Ooh, that's interesting. I like that.
No, that would be the biggest kick in the dick ever, because everyone that wants to play AM2R has played AM2R.
Well, what if
for
they did
free.
like the Sonic Mania thing?
I told you my thoughts on that. I told you what they're gonna do. they're gonna release it with his name crossed out, and they're just gonna write Nintendo on it. It's even gonna have his fucking.
Why didn't you just drew a pen through it? Why didn't you just block it out?
If you look at the files, it's still got like his
In
patch
stores
notes
now.
and stuff like that. They didn't change anything. They literally just went in and paint, crossed out his name, and wrote Nintendo. Like that's it. That's how they're gonna do it.
So,
But
we
like
haven't
no,
talked about-
seriously, I think you're onto something here. Like because Sonic Mania is that like old school Sonic game that they just had like someone from the fan community who's like, I can actually make a Sonic game. Sonic Adventure 5, Big the Cat edition.
Big
no,
the Cat
I can
edition.
make a real Sonic game. You can design your own Sonic now. No, really, I can make my own Sonic game. Just make your own Sonic game. And then he made Sonic Mania, and it looks great.
Sonic
So,
Rabbids.
Great.
What if Nintendo went to this person and was like, hey, make a Metroid game? Like, that's what they should do.
That's what they should
Sega
do.
Sega was smart enough to do it. Like,
Sega. I think Sega is smart enough to do that because Sonic is in such a shit place right now.
he?
It's like what the fuck ever. Just
Hey,
have a
at
piece of it.
least you know Sonic didn't go the ultimate route of showing its true decline and adding rabbits to the universe because that would be ridiculous.
he didn't have.
So
how
that's
many
coming. I
Team
forgot
Ninja
that
games
was a
have
game. Thanks, Josh.
has Sonic been in?
A
Is
lot.
Sonic better than Metroid? I'm pretty sure
Stop,
it
nephew.
I don't know. That is a fan question.
We are on an E3 podcast. We're not talking about Sonic anymore. God damn it.
No, Sonic is gonna be at E3
Fuck.
because that new Sonic game where you get to create your own characters coming. to
You mean
E3.
create your own furry?
Yes.
I'm pretty
Sonic
sure-
the Deviant
I,
Art.
I'm racking my brain here. I don't think there are any Metroid games that are better than Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. I'm dead serious. I don't think.
I
how
don't
many
know how to
how many
answer that
Metroid games have a
seriously.
Chow Garden? 0. The answer is 0, Josh. It's 0.
Fucking
It's not
stop.
1. It's not 10. It's 0. It's the answer is
Josh,
0.
that bottle better be full of vodka.
It's straight, man. 32 ounces of fucking Russian goodness.
I don't think I've ever. I like Sonic the Hedgehog, but I don't think I've ever played a Sonic game and loved it as much as like. I don't know. Besides other M, I didn't play Federation Force because
You have
am
respect?
I am voting with my wallet that I don't respect what you have done to this franchise, so I will never purchase this game. It's like my affront to Nintendo. Josh, you should play Federation Force, so carry on the Metroid Man moniker.
Oh, great. You know, okay, so stretch goal on Patreon. If I hit $500 a month, I will buy a 2DS to only play Federation Force. It will be the only Nintendo 2DS, 3DS game that I will play, and that'll be it. So, you know, support me on patreon.com/this is a terrible idea.
Does anyone, now that we're done with Nintendo, because I think we're done, unless anyone cares about Splatoon 2, I might buy it, I might not.
Yeah, I might. I enjoyed the test fire.
Oh, I didn't actually get to play the test fire.
I did. It was the first time I played Splatoon. I enjoyed it. Who knows? I might get it. I might not. We shall see.
Is there any PC, I haven't read any news there's going to be a PC show like there was last year. Is there any PC games that you guys are interested in?
Nothing we haven't talked about.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much.
Then that's it. That is our E3 pre-3.
Our pre-3
Wow.
podcast.
Just
It's a
come
lot
back
shorter.
to here for the perfect score. When the headlines read, E3 has surprising amount of Sonic, 0 Metroid.
And every
Ward
game is
11,
getting a
one
shelter
podcast
release.
gets it
Weird.
entirely
How
right.
did this trend start?
This hurts the Ray.
Downfall of mankind. More Sonic? Connected? Ward 11.
Can I just have a 2D Metroid game on Switch? Why? That's not even hard to do.
just
That's
get-
such a
just
slam
get- see,
dunk.
that's all they need to do. You just admit that Metroid is as bad as Sonic, and then you can climb from the depths.
Oh my god.
So when you
All I
want to
need to
hear
do-
our final product of what actually happened, make sure you're subscribed to us on YouTube, at Facebook. Give us a like there. Follow us on Twitter at unscript_gaming. You can also get us at soundcloud.com/unscripted-gaming. Also, all where your finer podcasts are sold: iTunes, Stitcher, Pocket Casts, everywhere. Just get us in your earballs. I am ending this thing. I'm taking the reins because I can't handle any more of this nonsense. Fuck it. This has been Unscripted Gaming, our Pre-3 show. Thank you for watching. I'm Josh.
Or listening. I'm Ray.
I'm Mike.
Peace.
Did it on purpose.
I said peace, damn it. This podcast is over. End the feed now.